So we reached a famous part of the Nefesh HaChaim that he says that should the world be empty of Torah for even one split second, the entire creation would just cease to exist. And then he told us that if at that moment, even one person, the whole world is empty of learning, and even one person is learning the Torah, then that person maintains the entire creation. That person, that single person, that one word of Torah. Now he does stress over here a few times, he's not talking about reading the Torah, he's talking about specifically mentioned a few times, he's talking about Esek HaTorah his boinus boy. He's talking about involvement in the Torah and contemplation of the Torah. He's talking about analysis, he's talking about deep thought, he's talking about utilizing every faculty that you have to actually learn the Torah, to be connecting to those other layers of the Torah. Because the Torah, as he says, the reason why the whole world would cease to exist is because the Torah is like the blueprint of the entire creation. It was the first kind of spark of creation. It's that Big Bang theory, right? It starts from the very beginning, and then it goes down like an electricity charge. It goes down through this cord of the creation all the way into this world, to the physical world, and kind of it's like the ground. For the circuit to work, there has to be ground. It has to be grounded, right? So if there's one person learning in the rest of the world, if there's nobody's learning, so then the entire circuit is broken down, and so the entire world ceases to exist because the electricity doesn't flow. But if there's even one person learning the Torah at that moment, so he provides kind of the ground for that circuit, and so now the circuit is complete. He closes the circuit, and the electricity can flow, and so that's why even one person can maintain the entire creation by being that one person who learns the Torah in this physical world right now. He closes that circuit and the creation exists. If there is not even one person learning, so then the circuit is completely broken, and then the entire creation from its very first moment completely ceases to exist, right? And that he highlights that this is more important than any other mitzvah, even prayer, which is also kind of on the same idea. Prayer is also built on the system where you're bringing down Kedusha from very lofty sources. But the Torah is the original source, and it goes down to the root of creation, all the way down to the very end of creation. And there has to be somebody at every moment who maintains that circuit. And what I think is also happening is that really, for every single person, there is that special moment, and it is uniquely his. Every person has that uniquely his moment. Maybe it's a nanosecond of a nanosecond, but every person has this moment where the entire universe is being sustained by that person's learning Torah. But the key feature is that it's not about, going to a shiur, passively listening to a joke, to a story. It is about actually learning where you kind of utilizing all of your faculties to understand it on the deepest level possible. So you're breaking free from the confines of the physical world, as we said last time, and you are trying to reach out to that current and let the current flow through you. But without that contemplation, without actually trying to learn Torah with all of one's faculties, so then I'm not sure if that actually closes that circuit, then, because you're not really plugged into the whole flow of electricity. So this is incredible. If a person doesn't experience this kind of learning even once in his life, he's missing out on this incredible thing. And so every person has to have that one moment where he's trying to actually really understand something as fully as possible with all of his faculties. And that moment could be the moment where he's grounding the entire creation and completes the circuit.